Hi guys, welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is John from PCBlaze.com, and today I want to show you guys how to disassemble an RTX 5090 Astral and install a water block. Okay, so let's go straight to the water block. The water block is the newest one from Singularity Computer. Daniel is the owner. I purchased one from him, so this is not sponsored. I didn't get paid to do this video. He didn't give me this for free, so I pay for it. And I think it's pretty nice, heavy though. I like that the threads are on the back. That's what I wanted. And looks pretty nice. I think it's one of the first samples, so I guess the logo will be much better next time. And we have a back plate, which is look nice. I think it's one of the best plate that that I saw. If you guys don't know Singularity Computer is kind of Bits Power, but a small company. Like Daniel, it's from Australia, and he's not a big company, guys. So those products are expensive. Those cases are expensive, but they are worth it. And I will do a video for the new case that I'm doing of Singularity case with this block soon. But today we want to talk about this. The price, it's actually not that bad. It's $349. Even if it's $50, around $50 more expensive than the AK, I would rather buy this one. And I will explain you this later. Why is that? So let's just move and open first the block and see what we got. Let me see. Pretty tiny. I won't forward this guy, so I will maybe forward only when I remove those screws. So let's see what we got. All right, so guys, remember, it's good to have one of those little plastic bags. So it's always good to don't mix the screws, so you can actually use uh, a highlighter to just put what it is. I think I would suggest you put the name so you don't forget if it's your first time you do this. Anyway, here we have the back plate, and the back plate. This back plate actually, it's coming with with some thermopods. Most of the blocks that I saw that I remove, I install it. They don't come with the pads from the back plate. So that's a good thing that Daniel did. So the block looks pretty clean. Quality is actually really good. I will zoom in a little bit, guys, so you guys can see it. It's not bad. You see? And as you can see, there's some RGB lights here that will light up the block. They will see that later. It's behind this. So let's put this aside and let's move forward now with the Astral. Okay, so I guess so many people already know how to do this, but I will do it anyway. So This is a little bit too small. Let me change it. Then Asus have so many different sizes of a screw that every time I have to change the damn bit in order to mount it. So like I said, guys, it's a good idea always to mark those screws so you remember in case you want to assemble back. Like I said, just put it in a little bag, and that's the safest way to do it. Okay. And normally I should remember how to remove, disassemble the block of this one, but normally it shouldn't be that difficult to remove it. Okay, so next one you want to remove one of those screws. I'm not sure which one it is, but I will pretty much remove, I think it's this one. This is connected to the cooler. Remember, those are not, maybe this one, but I'm not 100% sure. We will know in a minute. All right, this will be loose. And remember, you remove this. You can remove this before or after, not in the middle. But yeah, remember to remove those so you can safely remove. And I already removed one of the warranty stickers over there. There's a little bit trick. Let me push a little bit. Okay, nice go. Yeah, I did it wrong. We normally want to do in a X pattern, so it doesn't put pressure on one of the screws on the side, so those screw gets a little bit difficult to remove. You see, now it's much easier. So you always do on an X. First this, then this, and this, and this. Don't do like I did. It's not a big deal, but you might avoid uh, screwing up one of the screws. So next, you can remove this, the fans header. So you remove one, you remove two, all right, and it's pretty much off. And there's another one for the, I guess for the fan, but that one you can remove after. You don't have to remove it right away. So you see the block, it's the fans, they already come off, and this one should be there. I would say just make sure that everything is disconnected. Double check everything because you have to pressure a little bit. And what I suggest is don't pressure too much. Just do it gradually, so the paste disconnect. Just always double check if there is no screw on the back. You see, if you don't miss anything, because you don't want to break. You see, it's a little bit tough because it's really sticky, the block. So you just have to be really patient on removing it. Like I said, just don't force it too much. You see, and it's coming off. All right, and here you go. You have all the pads over there. So one thing I would suggest with the pads, just take them and put it back where it is. And if you have any foam they can put on the top and put it back, so when you put on the box, they pretty much won't stick. So let me remove one of them. And remember, guys, this it's not really that difficult. As you can see, there is not that many screw, and I guess you don't even have to remove this one. But let me double check. Yeah, you have to remove those one. Anyway, this is also one. Okay, and here we have it. And now we have this one, and you have the back fan. So if you want to remove the back plate, there's another 5-6 screws already here. So you just let me change the bit. and you just remove one of those over here. Like I said, guys, it's pretty easy. Just make sure you save those screws in case you wanna sell the 59 in the future when you swap to a 6090 or whatever. It's always a good idea to mark those, to write on the little bag of the screw, which screw is which, because maybe you don't care of the other person, but maybe the other person will get nuts, figure out which screw it is, and there are not that many, but still a lot of screws to be removed. And next time I will do also an installation of the Founders Edition, which I never did before, so it's gonna be my first time. Another one over here, and I will tell you guys how to clean the thermal paste. And yeah, and that's the last one. Remember, this one you have to remove it last, so you just it's a plastic. You just push it a little bit and just remove it like that. Okay, now it's gone. So, and here again, guys, just make sure you delicately move it. All right, not just do it. This is a work of patience. All right, so don't do it when you in a rush or something. Do it when you have a lot of time. You take the day off and you do something like this. And you see they have thermal paste, a pad over here. Now you can reuse this one. I'm not sure if Singularity has one over there, but in case they don't, it's a good idea. You see, you can reuse those when you put the back plate. Even if the brand doesn't have, I will highly suggest to use it to keep your temperature, especially this one to put over here. That's really the problem that NVIDIA had most of the time. So hopefully, okay, guys. So here we are. It's fully disassembled, as you can see. Now, you have to clean this part, and the best way to clean this is using some ISO alcohol, 70%. This is pretty safe, so you don't have to worry about it. Like conductivity and stuff like that. It's pretty straightforward. Just use some napkins, some paper towel, and you just brush it a little bit here like this. Okay, you let it sit like a little bit. And normally we use some of the tip. Like I said, you don't want to damage those little chips over here. Okay, so you have to be really careful because that thermal paste, it's really sticky. Okay, so just clean it nice and clean. And you don't need a tip to remove it. You just force it a little bit. So you can do it with a screwdriver. A really small one. You just push it up. I will show you in a minute. So it's important, guys. You have to clean this really nice and clean, okay? Doesn't matter over here. That part is really not that important. But since I'm a picky guy, I like to remove all of them. Like I said, this part, you have to be really careful to do this. So you just push it a little bit, and then you flip it like this. Piece by piece, it's gonna be off. Now, you don't have to, okay? Because, like I said, this part, the most important part is gonna be the center, all right? And you may clean a little bit on the edges. But if you scare it to maybe break one of those chips, I will say don't do it, okay? This is really not a big problem. You just have to do really nice and slow, no rush. And then you can use a Q-tip to like completely remove it, but there's not even no need to do it like a you see, it comes like really nice, and you just have to be careful. And if you hit something, and you just stop, okay? So use always a super nice tin, something like this, you see, super thin, so it doesn't cause any damages. So it's pretty, you see, it's not that complicated. Like I said, you don't have to remove it if you don't feel to. Also, this part over here, so this part doesn't really matter, guys. You can leave it there. So I normally remove it when I do it when I have time, but this time it's a video, so I won't clean this perfectly. I normally do because, like I said, I'm a perfectionist. I'm really picky on that. But I don't have Q-tip at the moment, so I just have to clean it up like that for the moment and make sure that the die is actually super clean. That's the most important thing, guys. Like I said, and I can't stress this enough. This part here, yeah, pass it by a little bit, see if you can scrap it a little bit, but that's it. Don't go crazy. There's no need to clean it that part, okay? It's not really matter. Actually, it's actually good to have some thermal paste over there. And most of the people they say, "Oh, well, I would like to use metal." Listen, it's gonna give you a few difference of like maybe 4 or 5 degrees. It doesn't really matter. If you're water cooling, you don't have to put liquid metal. Now, if you are on air, it might be worth it. But for me, I would say don't. You don't want to fry your system. You know what I mean? Like it's not worth it, guys. For 5 days, risking to put metal past, even if they're great. Glacier Thermal has some nice thermal pass that has some gasket around and stuff like that. But I wouldn't do it. It's not even worth it, guys. Like for 5 degrees, come on. Especially, it's not worth it for water cooling. Okay. All right. So make sure everything is nice and clean. I'm gonna zoom up like this so you guys can see it. You see? Like it doesn't have to be perfect, guys, but the die needs to be super clean, and that's good. That's good enough. Okay. So the die is super clean, and you might want to consider using something like this that I just bought it from Thermoglazy, from their power, and it's the cryo sheet. It's the cryo sheet 44 times 37. You can install this over here, no problem. Okay. So this is actually a pretty clean solution. I will show you guys how to install this. It's not really a big deal installing it. So oh yeah, nice. They give you also some silicone oil. I didn't know that. Oh, they just add that. They didn't have this one. So they add some silicone oil to make a stick, I guess. But I don't think you need it. I will show you guys because you have this. Those little tapes. So you don't need the oil. I'm not sure where they put it, but yeah, you can maybe put some silicone oil at the corners to make a stick a little bit more. But you see, there's no actually need for that. So you just put it here, guys. You see that? I think it's pretty. I like it. Like I said, I like it. It's pretty nice. I love it. And we will test with some temperature and see how it goes. Do you see? It matched perfectly. So you don't need actually to stick it, but you can do it. So pretty much, I won't use it because I don't need it. But you just remove this one and you put some silicone oil on the corner, okay? And then, of course, with the pressure, this help you to for the sheet not to move too much, so it stays nice and it doesn't move that much. Which I think it's a good idea to do it. I won't do it, but like I said, it's easy, guys. You don't have to go crazy about it. If you want to use it. If you don't want, don't. And those things are pretty. Let me see if with the. I need a blade to remove those. I don't freaking have it. Yeah. Let me see if with this one I can actually lift it up a little bit. I don't even know which side it is. So yeah, this tape is for battery normally. I use those for like a lot for my battery system, but what the hell? Which side is it? Yeah, I don't know. They're super sticky, I guess. I don't know why they. Okay. Yeah, it's kind of tricky to remove it. You see, but I think they're awesome because look, now you put it over here like this, and you just center the fridge. So like I said, just the first one. You see, you center it over here, and voila, that's it. I don't know why they want to use the silicone one, but you know, if you really want to use it, you can. But there's no need. And then you put this one over here, right? You see, you actually don't need it. Like I said, it's up to you guys if you want to use it. If you don't want to use it, if you do a good job, you actually now depending also on the position that you are. I think it's good for the CPU when you have the case already in vertical, so it's difficult to hold it. So it's a good idea to use the silicone so it doesn't fall down. But if you are like this, like for GPU, I don't think there's no need to use it. Damn, man, this thing is kind of it's trying me a little bit. Is it? Uh-huh. I think those are battery tapes, something like that. So yeah. So remember, you don't want this to be on the die. You see here, you still have space. Just make sure that you press it a little bit so it doesn't go over the die. Okay, if not, you will have bad temperature, right? So make sure it's. You see here, it's not on the die. You see, so make sure it's not on the die, so you won't have overeating issue, like the yellow tape. Okay, I need to cut that a little bit because you see here. So make sure you press a little bit so you see the edges of the die. Make sure you don't put this yellow tape on the die, guys. If not, you will have terrible temperature, right? It will make no sense installing this thing, okay? And voila. Do you see, guys? Everything is nice. You have something like this. It's super clean. And it's good. It's good to go. So let me cut some of the excessive. You never find a blade when you have it. And now let me cut this part a little bit. All right, that's good. Okay, so make sure it doesn't touch the VRAM, the DRAM, the RAM of the memory. Now, it's also good to clean the RAM of the to remove some oil, something like this. Like it doesn't have to be like really super super clean, but there is no need to do this. But I like to do a nice job, and I like to do something like that. I like to have everything super clean and nice. And remember, guys, before you remove the block and remove the seal of the warranty, test the GPU. I saw so many people online that were installing the stuff and then they plug in this way and you have a dead video card. And then you may able not to return and then you have to send it to Asus instead of the dealer that you bought it from. Because that's another thing, guys. If you open it and you remove the seal, Asus is gonna change it for you, no problem. They won't void the warranty, but we as a retail we cannot accept that back. So if you request a return for that, there's nothing we can do about it. We will tell you to go directly to the manufacturer. All right. So like I said, it doesn't have you don't have to clean the VRAMs, but it's a good thing to do it. Now we almost done. That's the easy way to do it, guys. So now we have the pads. We have like a 2 millimeter pads. Those one goes on the back. It doesn't come. It doesn't come. They don't apply over here. So make sure you can feel those are 2 millimeters. And then we have this one, who are 1 millimeter. Okay, you can tell And they're like already pre-cut. I think I'm not 100% sure if they're they are pre-cut. So it's a good thing that Daniel had those. I really like it because we can, you know. Now let's start with the. I think it's with the V from this side. Like there's a manual too, guys. You don't have to watch this video, but there is also a manual on the Singularity website how to do this. So it's like I said, it's not really complicated. Just take your time and do something new. Like I didn't watch any YouTube video on this one. I watched some. So the VRAM it's over here, not this one, the black one. So you just wanna just slide a little bit. Like I said, don't force it. Just let it sit normally. If not, it's gonna be too long, and it's not gonna do what it's intended to. So you just go by his place normally. You see, doesn't have to be really stayed. That just make sure it covers the entire uh, the the entire VRAM. Now he said to put something also here. I'm not sure why. Normally you don't need to, but since Daniel told me to put something there too, I guess I have to put something here too. I'm not sure why is that, but we want to make sure we follow it. Like I said, guys, every water block is different, and you always have to follow the the instruction correctly, so you don't have any issue with that. Okay. Now we have this one. I'm not sure where this one goes. Oh, those are the tiny. Oh, okay. So this one goes actually. I did a mistake. You see, this one goes here, which I don't know why he put it there. But I guess I will ask Daniel why he thinks it's good to put on those. That's the first time I see those. This one too. It doesn't go over here. It goes actually here. Like I say, you see, if you don't press them, I would say don't press it because if you do a mistake like I did, it's pretty much easy to add it again, so it's not a big deal. And those are the smaller one who actually goes here. I just figured it out. And they give you, Daniel put some extra one just in case something breaks. And yeah, that's it. So it's pretty straightforward, guys. Just take your time. It's really nothing that complicated. Just don't press them, okay? Just it's gonna when you install the water block is gonna do the pressuring thing, so it's gonna pressure them. So don't worry about that. Those are little sticky sticks. Okay, here we go. Perfect. They'll stick nice and clean. And now we do this one. The DDR RAM, the DDR6 or 7, I think it's 6. Let's see which one it is. Yeah, that's good. So yeah, you just remove it like it's nice and slow, and you just add them. They're like I said, take your time. So they're pretty close. So. Right. Another one over here. Okay. And then one over here. But this is an extra one. So you add the extra one. I think maybe it goes over here. You have to be careful not to cover the holes of the screw. If not, it's gonna mess it up a little bit with the screw. Not a big deal, but we try to avoid that. I'm gonna try to avoid this. You see, everything matches. So if you see something is a little bit longer or it doesn't really match, you just have to make sure it's the right piece. Yeah, this came a little bit curved, but it's fine. You see there, like, all right, you see there? Oh, nice. Okay. All right. So we get this done. And now we have some little parts over here that we have to figure it out. So it's also a good idea to check, when you do this, it's also a good idea to check the original heatsink. And you can see this is actually like that. Okay, so you have a pretty understanding. So you can see those big pads where they are, right? You can see it's actually here. It covers all of them, right? So you just want to make sure you add those big pads there, Like I said, you don't have to follow. I don't think they are those. I think they're this ones because you see this one, like, you see it looks like, so it's not those because those are this one. So it's this one, those here, this one and this one. So what you want to do, you just measure this entire piece here. You just, with the knife, you just slightly, nothing gonna happen. You just have to do like nice and slow. It's something that you can do it easily. Just don't press it too much, and you see, it's just super light. You won't break anything. It's something. It's normal. I would say don't worry about it, and make sure. This is gonna be a long video, guys. I hope you guys enjoy it. And you see, he already pre-cutted those. So some are pre-cut, some are not. But it's fine. So I suggest to press those little ones. See, just press it a little bit. If not, they come off. Just a little bit, not too much. All right. And this one too. Okay, so we're kind of done with this. Now, he says you can put also some here. I don't see because we covered this one, so you can cover also this one here too if you want to. That's what the manual says, which, like I said, guys, you want to follow the manual. And with 1 millimeter thickness, nothing's going to happen. If you have some elevated VRAM temperature or some high elevated temperature, then you can always open it back. I know it's not ideal, but just follow the instruction. You can also cut it like this, You don't have to actually use a knife or blade. You just push it down a little bit and it's gonna come off pretty much clean. So, and this one comes over here. You see? It's not really a big deal. It doesn't have to be super clean, super nice, Like Daniel wants us to put some extra there. I don't think that it's needed, but we want to follow all his, the manual. Always follow what he said because he may be designing in a way that you need those little spacer there so the block fits perfectly. So make sure you add everything. And like I said, it's better to have it, you know, than not have it. Okay. So this one, even if there's no need, when you pressure enough, it's not gonna do any real issue. You might have some higher temperature if the die doesn't touch because of that. But yeah, so I'm watching at the manual right now to make sure that everything is installed correctly. And he put those two because I have one, two, three here, and he put two here. So yeah, definitely, he the manual says we have to put those there too. So I would say let's just do it so we forget about that. Like I said, you just push it here. This one you cannot do it. You just use a little blade like this. Super thing, guys. It's not really that big of a deal cutting. You know. And some people they cut it before, but you can cut on the top. So kind of. And that's pretty much it, guys. Everything is installed. Seems that everything looks good. I've double checked the manual that I didn't miss anything. So yeah, and now the next one is installing the water block. Now, am I missing the screw for this one? But maybe they use the same screws. But let me check if it's okay. Yeah, I don't know if it comes with the screws. Yeah, so pretty much it's easy. So we use the same screw from the back plate to tie the M2 8 millimeter, and that's it. There is pretty much wow. It's actually super fast. I like it. Yeah, that was nice. Nice to see. Yeah, you see. Oh yeah. So when you do something like that, you also want to be at the edge here, or you want to have something on the bottom. Oh man, I did touch something here. All right. Yeah, because you want to make sure that you don't move it. You just lift it up and you align everything. Okay. Make sure you align that everything. You just pressure a little bit, not too much. Don't pressure here. So I have to put over here because I don't have a. You normally wants to have something on the top. I'm sorry, on the bottom because I have to move out of the camera range. Let me put something under. Yeah, let me put some screw under so because I'm out of focus right now. So yeah, you want to use something like this, so you put this because of the bracket of the GPU. It's not actually. I forget about that. I always forget about that. And nice. Now we will install the backplate, guys. Okay. So with the backplate, like I told you before, seems like a pretty easy step. You see, I put my screw on the back when I remove this water block, so I know where they are, so I can use them again. Like I said, guys, it's a good practice to make sure you mark your your screws, right? So you don't have any problem. I should have painted the back, but I will pretty much remove it later and then paint it. Okay. So now we have those 2 millimeters. They're pretty much the same thing. All right. So don't put it where are those connections. Okay. So one I think was. Let me double check this. Okay. Yeah. You always want to double check because sometimes uh, they don't match really well. So I was supposed to put it here, and I think I was right because they have some space over here. So This is gonna cool this part over here, not this. Yeah, because on the manual I said to leave this one. So this one doesn't go over there. You have to be really be careful, guys, when you do this kind of stuff because you have to install this correctly. Well, it's a back plate, don't really matter. The most important part is the one on the front, honest with you. But you know, you always want to try, and the manual is pretty clear, so you just don't put it on those because those are those space over here. So I would put it over there. Well, that's me. So yeah, the only thing is that this block is pretty nice. I think it's a nice water block. I think it looks cool. Uh, I will buy the one from Delta Mate from Thermal Glycerin too. Even I think they're like $600 for a water block. It's a little bit too expensive in my opinion. I think we're getting too much money, and I know the quality it's different, the machinery it's different, and maybe the quality and stuff like that. But come on, it's a water block. You know, we don't have to spend $500 with a water block. I say between 250, something like that. It's reasonable. You know, more than that, I don't really see it spending like $500 for freaking water block. Come on. I know everything getting expensive every year, but you know, at the end, it is what it is, guys. If you like the water block, you should pay whatever it is. You know. And this one, I don't know why he didn't mark it, but the one for the power supply, I would suggest you to guys just put it on where it is because there's no marks over here. So I put it over there, over here, because you know I don't know how to square that. I want to make sure it gets uh, installed correctly. And yeah, those, yeah, I don't know why. I, okay, there's those more. So then you'll add some extra pad, which I really like it. There are some extra pad in case you know you have to reopen it, redo it, but you can actually buy those on Amazon. They are not really that expensive. So I'm not sure he marks those black ones. I don't know. I see that he marks out these black ones here, but I won't add them. I will ask him why he marks those blacks. In the manual, doesn't show any, doesn't explain anything about that. So I'm not sure if this space is gonna be empty. I guess yes. Like I said, it's not really a big deal, but I will ask him because he didn't mention anything on those. So I guess it's fine. He marks this as a black ones, but he didn't specify if we have to put any. Yeah, they on the black ones he didn't say anything. So yeah, and there goes one on the red one. Oh yeah, and one goes on the center. So on the center, they say to put a millimeter one, so I will use this one. I think like even if it's a little bit broken. Yeah, so this one came a little bit damaged. I don't think it's a big deal, but I will use it anyway. So I use the on the mill. They say to use 1 millimeter. Okay, so it didn't came out said well. Let me. This one came like that. It's a little bit. I have to Lego it, reassemble it. Like I said, the back plate, guys, is not really a big. It helps, so it's not really a big issue. You know, it's fine. And we have it here. So Everything is set up nice. Like I said, on the black one, on this one, it didn't say anything on those. I guess they will be like that, but I will ask him. So that's how it is. And oh, and then you put the block over here, nice and tight. Now I don't remember what this one. Okay. And here we have the screw, so easy peasy to install. So make sure that everything is aligned, nice and tight. Okay. So do first the where the die is. Break off the die. Make sure they go all the way in. So you know it's just push it a little bit. You see. Make sure they are all in. Like I said, those tennis screw are really okay. And then you just do a when you tie them up, you just do a X like this, and this, and then you go again back. Okay, so you tighten a little bit until you see that they grab. If they don't grab, means you don't get anything. Okay, so make sure they grab, and then you go in an X pattern. Okay, don't forget that it's really important. An X pattern, and here too. And then you come back here. Like you don't have to tight them really tight. So make sure those are really, but you want them to be tight. Okay, so they have to make pressure. Okay, so this here. And remember, when you tight one, the other one is gonna get loose. So you wanna keep doing this until you feel that they are both really tight. And I would say do it first this one so you are sure, and then because this one will match no matter what. Okay, so yeah, you see this one doesn't match that much, and that's one of the problem. Like if you tie them up too tight, you see they don't really, now they don't match. So that's another thing, you have to untie them, and you have to do this at the end. I mean, sometimes there's a lot of stuff you forget, and you have to make sure that you remind yourself that, you know, they actually don't really match that great. Let me see. Yeah, those screw a little bit off. Let me see if I can push them a little bit. Yeah, you see? Alright. So you make sure that you put all the screws first inside, right? I forget to mention that. Make sure that all those screws are inside. You see, like this, and they're a little bit tight. Alright? So you see, one movement's there. And then another one here. This can be a little bit tricky, guys. So make sure, you see, it's already in, so you're good. Don't tie them up because you have to move them a little bit. Let's do the edges first. I forget that to mention that, and I went straight to the middle, which sometimes doesn't make sense. You always go straight to the middle, but you don't tie them up like I did. I want to just guys show you how to tie them up nice, right? So you see, they all go nice inside now. So like I said, this is like it's more patient, guys. You have to have patience with this thing. If you don't have patience, that's not something that you should do. Okay, I'm not suggesting you guys to do this. This is patience. This take 20 to 30 minutes to do. You see, this one doesn't match, so you might have to do some movement. You see, and now it fits. So it just don't. Like I said, don't rush it. This is really not that difficult of job. You just have to be patient about it. Those doesn't have to be really tight. Remember, this screw are super tight, so you want to buy something like this, 1.27 millimeter for the Singularity one, and you want to make sure you don't tie them too much, because if you damage the thread, those little things to remove is gonna be a pain in the butt. Like, honest with you, like, I know they are difficult to remove then after. You see? Okay. Like I said, don't overdo it. Just tighten up a little bit. You see, like I do, like this. I should have done the X, but remember, that's the way to go. It doesn't really matter when you are already tie inside, but that's how it is. Then you double check all of them. You see, this one was a little bit off, because when you tie this one, it pressures down more. As some of them, they will get loose, and you have to make sure that those are nice and tight. So, like, it's a patience, guy. You have to have patience. You see, this one was also a little bit loose. Like, you want to have good pressure, guys. The tail pods needs to do their job. If you are not good, if the pressure is not good, then, you see? And now you go around in the center. You see how they came loose? This one came loose again because it's the pressure. So it's pressuring up, it's leveling down. So you have to always, and that's it. You have it. A Singularity, nice install. So guys, thank you so much for watching. I know this video is gonna be long. It was a long video. I hope like you enjoyed. If you have any question, let me know. And I have the Asus Hyperion case, which I will install this one, and then I will do a Singularity case, something amazing. So thank you so much for watching, and please subscribe. And if you like the button, click the like button. And if you don't like the button, please don't click any button. Just kidding. Thank you, guys.